We're recording.
Are we?
We're recording.
Welcome to Brothers in Cars Going to Concerts.
This is Brothers in Cars Going to Concerts.
I'm your host, Ruben.
I'm Ryan.
Who's also your host.
Yes, I'm also your host. This is really the worst of the best podcast, and this is a special episode because we're on the road. If we sound weird or look weird, that's because you're seeing us and you're hearing us. We
look weird. This is genetics.
We're on the road to Metallica. We're seeing Metallica. This will be my 6th time seeing them live. Ruben, how many is this for you?
This is number 3.
Okay.
But we all saw them together for the first time.
That's right.
And the first time that we went, in 1991, we bought these t-shirts.
That's right. So the shirts that I'm wearing right now, I bought this when I was 16. Ruben bought that shirt when he was 14. Does it still fit you, Ru?
Really? That's 14? I thought it was 13 when I saw them.
Well, yeah. So 13, 14.
No, I was 14. I was 14. Yeah.
So a long time ago. We saw them 26 years ago for the first time live.
Yeah.
And so this is really exciting to see them again. We're going to be meeting our brother there and his son in Vancouver, British Columbia at BC Place. But anyways, we're really excited. So we're going to get going here with the worst of the best, Metallica. This is a special on-the-road episode. If we go over a little bit over 20 minutes, so be it. It's a special, tunnel. A special episode. So, Ruben, where's that list?
Wherever you put it, brother.
Okay.
We're not doing any editing. I have a bunch of episodes that we're going to be doing.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Now, so don't look at we're going to go over the top 5 best-selling Metallica albums. It doesn't mean they're the best albums, but just the best-selling.
That's right. These are the top 5 best-selling albums, not necessarily the hardcore Metallica fan favorite. Why isn't this one, or whatever. So let's start with number 5, Ruben. Number 5 is the album.
This is more of an honorable mention than an album.
Fair enough.
But from their
sales.
Okay,
yeah. So this wasn't a studio album. This was a live album that they did with the Los Angeles Symphony, and it's called
no, San Francisco Symphony.
My apologies, San Francisco Symphony. I think it was done in 1999.
Okay.
I think it was about then.
Yeah.
It was called S&M. Yes, S&M. It sold 6 million plus copies back then.
All these sales figures are United States alone. Typically, for a worldwide band, whatever they sold in the States, they've doubled that outside. So they probably sold about 12 plus million worldwide.
Yeah, so this is state sales. So
not a state.
Right, the United States.
Nobody died.
Well, let's be clear that Metallica, they're a very high-selling, currently top-grossing band. Like, we're going to how many seats does BC Place hold?
I think it's about 52,000,
and it's sold out.
It's crazy.
So they sold out BC Place today. That's not too bad for a band that's been around since 1982.
Crazy. Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. So the first album is the S&M Classic. And S&M stands for Symphony and Metallica.
Oh, is that what S&M stands for?
Are you joking?
I thought it was a sadomasochistic.
It's a play on the sadomasochistic.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a play on that, but it's actually Symphony and Metallica is the name of the album. S&M.
What did the sadists do to the masochist? Nothing.
All right, that's terrible.
It's a good joke.
Well, Ruben, why don't you start talking about your song and what this album means to you?
I love the album. When I was a kid, we were listening to Metallica and Beethoven. And that sounds kind of weird, but my brothers bought this Beethoven box set. And when I would listen to Metallica, I would literally hear in my head what it would sound like if it was a symphony.
That's a good point. That's right, Ruben. I forgot that we actually had Beethoven's classic hits, or whatever it was called. It was like
his greatest hits.
Well, did it say greatest hits?
No.
Okay. Well, it was like a box set of Beethoven.
A best of.
But we were like total music nerds in the sense that we actually had a Beethoven box set. I forgot about that.
And rock and roll.
Beethoven was basically metal.
Yeah.
He was metal with his violins and everything.
Yeah. So when the album came out, I was like, oh, finally. Because sometimes you'd listen to like Aerosmith with Dream On, you hear the symphony in there, the strings. but Metallica, they did it.
Yeah, they were definitely one of the most first popular bands to put this together. So Ruben, do you have a song from S&M that just doesn't know? Keep in mind, we should tell the audience that this is a collection of older songs, or a variety of songs from their previous albums at the time that they took and mixed with symphony.
It's like a greatest hits.
It's kind of like a greatest hits, and a lot of deeper tracks too were used. And some of these songs really, really work, and some don't.
Devil's Dance, to me, is the worst song on S&M.
Yeah.
Did I even get the title right? It's Devil's Dance, right?
Yeah, it's called Devil's Dance, and I believe that was on Load or Reload, one of those two albums.
It's a load. It's a load of crap.
So Devil's Dance is Ruben's worst pick on their number 5 top-selling album, S&M. That's a good choice, Ruben.
Thank you.
For variety's sake, I could go with that. I could go with Devil's Dance. It's never been a song that I've enjoyed. I could skip it from now till tomorrow, forever. I would say for me, the worst song other than Devil's Dance, let's pick another one, is, this is going to be tough because we're going to get into the number 1 selling album later. But I think for this one, I'll pick Sad But True.
Oh! Really?
Yeah, Sad But True is actually one of the most boring songs Metallica's ever done. I think when it first came out, I was like, I kind of dug it. I was like, okay, slow grind.
Sad But True shirt.
I'm so. It's sad but true that Ruben's wearing a Sad But True shirt, but this song is boring to me. It's boring. And so for this pick on this album, I'm gonna throw Sad But True under the bus for this album and save my pick for another one for another album.
Jeez.
But Sad But True, I'm gonna go with the worst song on S&M.
Well, I
would have picked Devil's Dance as well. I could go with you on that, but make this like for variety's sake, second pick.
Yeah. I can see why someone would find it boring, but I like it.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so the number 4 best-selling Metallica album is
Master of Puppets.
Master of Puppets.
And in the States alone, Master of Puppets sold 4.6 million copies.
It's crazy.
This was like an underground,
Not a single music video,
no
video. Radio play,
nothing. This is like literally word of mouth. Word of mouth. Now, Master of Puppets is considered by many Metallica's finest metal moment. But you say to yourself, well, why is it that they're not number 1, this album? These are the Metallica guys who say, oh, Metallica died after Master, or Metallica died when Cliff Burton died. And as tragic as it was that Cliff Burton died, and of course, and its greatest album is, they've done great things since Master of Puppets, and I'm glad they've continued.
I've met somebody that's met Cliff Burton.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's that?
All Enough guy at a U2 concert.
You're eating on a podcast, Ruben.
I'm so hungry.
Sorry for our podcast listeners. Ruben has a mouthful of food as he's eating. He's eating
some fresh beans from my garden.
Right. Master Puppets, Ruben. What's the song there that you don't? What is the song on Master Puppets that doesn't resonate with you? Oh, first, do you remember the first time you listened to Master Puppets?
Yeah. I think I actually listened to it in the library on a Discman.
What?
I think so. Well, this is the first time I really, really listened to it. Like, gave it a sit-down listen.
Okay, my first memory of Master Puppets, we can thank our brother Jason for this.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jay.
Jason bought the album on cassette.
Maybe no. My memory's wrong then.
Okay. So Jason bought it on cassette and brought it home. I think he got it through Columbia House.
What a ripoff.
And he said, check this out. And I think at this time I was already listening to Justice for All. But I didn't know their back catalog at all. And I remember putting Master Puppets in the cassette player. And when that first opening track comes on, remind me here, shoot.
Battery.
I was going to say it's Battery. Oh, thank you, Ruben. Because I know the second track is Master. But I remember listening to Battery and just being blown away because it was just heavier and crazier than Justice for All. And then when Master Puppets came on, the 8-minute song, title track, I was taken to another world.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe this song had the changes that it had, and it had the anger and emotion. So there is a song for me, Ruben, that is the worst of one of their best-selling and best-acclaimed albums of all time.
Let's hear it. What's the worst one of Master Puppets?
Well, this is where you and I are going to, again, we will...
Spit it out, brother. Spit it out.
Well, this album's interesting. It only has 8 songs.
What's the worst song on the album to
It's
you?
tough. I think
For me, it's not.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm going to go with you, Ruben. I think I'm going to go with you on this one. So I'll just say that you and I both agree. Now, remember, this is the worst of the best.
Doesn't mean it's a bad song.
Doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad song, but if we had to pick a song, I agree with Ruben's choice. It's track number 3, The Thing That Should Not Be.
Yeah. It's the song that should not be.
You know this, we're going to have people that get so mad at us, but I think any song that we pick
I can take it.
I think any song we pick on this album, somebody would get mad because it's almost a flawless album.
Yeah.
8 tracks, there's no filler, it's all killer. The Thing That Should Not Be, interestingly enough, was written by Cliff Burton, I think, and it was written about a comic character or a comic that he wanted to write.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Some sort of creature?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so number 3 top selling album of Metallica's. I don't know how long I've been off camera, but hi. Number 3 top selling album from Metallica. This is interesting. This is their 3rd top selling album.
It totally makes sense.
It's Load.
Load. I'll tell you why it makes sense.
Why is that?
The number 1 selling album
Previous?
sold so many.
Right.
That's the sequel. You know what I mean? Everybody that was introduced, plus real fans, are going to get it. That's why. It's not because it's a great album. It's like a movie sequel that sucks, but everybody saw it because they saw the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the Load Reload albums. I really do.
This is where people that are Metallica fans are going to hate me. I like that they shifted gears.
Sure.
You got to do that as an artist.
You do.
Unless you're AC/DC, you got to do something different.
Well, Ruben and I were actually talking the other day about Motorhead. No, sorry, it's my brother Jason and I just the other day were talking about Motorhead. And we were talking about Motorhead and that they were loved by other artists and they had a cult following. And but they were never a stadium draw.
No.
And I could argue part of them, they never branched out. And I think what happens if you don't branch out means just that. When you branch out, you can grab other things and other people might come into your fold. But they stayed true to what their sound was, and that though that can be admirable, you're never going to tell more people about you. So it all depends what your end game is. So Metallica, they branched out, and in the meantime, we're seeing them live today, Ruben, almost 30 years after we saw them live for the first time, because they branched out, and they're playing not at a bar.
They're playing at a bigger place than when we saw them the first time.
That's right.
At the height.
Yeah, that's right. They're playing at a bigger venue.
I look like that realtor, eh?
Yeah. All right, for those,
Anyways, there's a side story. There's a realtor in town who kind of looks like me. I had this customer that came into my work, and she looks at me, or her kid looks at me, and they go, "Sorry, you just look like my husband." I thought it was funny. Does your husband ever get told that he looks like a realtor in town? She's like, "Yeah," and she knew who I was talking about.
Oh wow.
Anyways, the realtor is from India. I'm not.
You're not from India?
No, but I like the fact that I look like somebody from India. I don't know. Anyways, moving forward.
We should make notice that those who can hear a fan in the background, we're in a car, we're driving to the ferry to go to Metallica. Ruben's van doesn't have AC.
Oh.
So we have the fan blowing.
Okay, first of all, if we did have AC, you'd be hearing the AC.
No, but you could have it on lower with a cooler air coming through.
Metallica has their fans, we have our fans. Deal with it.
We have a non-AC fan blowing, and so it's blowing a little bit hard to get so we don't die. We're doing this for you guys. We're doing on the road recording for you guys because we're on the road to see Metallica.
Okay, Load.
Load. Your worst song on Load, Ruben.
Oh, yeah. The house that Jack built.
All right, yeah. Load has some incredible songs. Like
it does.
Outlaw Torn. I love that song. Bleeding Me. One of the greatest songs they've ever written. But
Fuel,
I enjoy. But I can't wait because they're gonna play it live today. I kind of save that for the live shows. It's kind of like the song.
Oh yeah, you gotta hear it, brother.
Yeah. So there's a few to choose from. I could have easily chosen Ruben's choice as well, but for the sake of there's a few on there that are the worst.
Okay, if I didn't choose that, what would you have chose?
Well, I'm choosing The Cure.
Oh, yeah.
The Cure, or Cure, whatever. It's kind of a throwaway track. It tries to be something that's not. I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me.
It doesn't cure you.
Does not cure me. It actually provides
an ailment
to this episode.
Ironically. All right, moving forward to the number 2 best-selling Metallica album of all time.
And Justice for All.
That's my introduction to Metallica.
That was my first album too. I used to listen to Justice for All daily. I delivered newspapers as a kid, and I put it on my Walkman, and the album's like 3 hours long, whatever it is, and it's like it would take up my whole paper route time almost. And just track after track after track. It's just like an onslaught of metal, no bass, but
yes. Sorry, Jason Newsted.
Jason Newsted, rest in peace, brother. Oh wait, who died? Cliff Burton died. But Jason Newsted, may your career rest in peace. Voivod.
Remember when Hetfield was worried that Voivod was going to be like something new?
Yeah. So this album, kind of like Master Puppets, it's basically a flawless album amongst fans. It's hard to pick one that you never listen to again. But Ruben, you have a choice on this one.
I said my choice last time. You say your choice.
Well, I'm a little bit
first. I mean, you go first this time.
Yeah. You know what? People are gonna get mad at me on this one, Rube. I see your choice, but if I actually had to pick a song that I could do without listening to again, that's how I'm going to make my preface to this one.
Sure.
The title track, Injustice for All. It's a 9.5 minute. If they made it half the length, it repeats itself too much. It's too long. It doesn't need to be 9.5 minutes long. I kind of get bored listening to it. I see your choice, and I'm going to give your choice a bigger really. So when you say it, stand by.
The Frayed Ends of Sanity.
Really?
Yes. Do you know why?
I hear the chorus. I love it. Go ahead.
It's a great song. One of the things I like best about Metallica is really just the music.
Right.
That it sounds good if it's a symphony. It sounds good if it's heavy metal. It's got good bones to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can go on YouTube and listen to a lot of Metallica songs
on the piano,
harp.
Yeah.
So the music itself is beautiful on its own. Okay, so you're just not a big fan of the...
No. You know the movie The Princess Bride?
Oh, of course, Buttercup.
Yeah. Remember the Cliffs of Insanity? Every single time I hear the Frayed Ends of Sanity,
I never did.
In my head, I hear the Cliffs of Insanity. It ruins the song.
Cliffs of Insanity. Myself is climbing them.
But I'm hearing his voice, that dweeby, geeky voice of the actor who does great in that movie.
Yeah.
I hear that in my head, and it ruins the song for me. Thus making it the worst song on the album. Still a fantastic song.
Fair enough. No, that's fair. Again, this is an album that, like Master Puppets, I think for me, a lot of good songs. I mean, every song is good, so it's hard to pick the worst. But this next album is their #1 selling album. Drum roll. Does anyone want to guess what their #1 selling album is?
Garage Days Revisited?
Close. Black, which referred to as the Black Album, a self-titled album produced by Bob Rock. It was famously said that Lars Ulrich wanted to sound the way that Dr. Feelgood sounded, the Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood album. He wanted the big drums, big bass, big loud everything. It is a great production sounding album. It sounds fantastic. It does sound good. But there are songs on there that I could throw away from here to yesterday.
Okay, now we have a minute or two. Oh, we got just like a minute left, brother.
Well, yeah, but there was
Here's a little trivia for you guys. Obviously, Cliff Burton died. That's obviously terrible. Jason Newsted comes in. He was never really welcomed in.
Yeah.
Good bass player, good guy. He leaves. What are they going to do? Bob Rock was considered to be the bassist for a bit.
Yeah, the producer Bob Rock, who produced Load, Reload, the Black Album, Saint Anger. There was a time where he was going to be the bass player for Metallica. And a side trivia, you know, for you Metallica nuts, you probably already know this, the bass playing on the recording of
Saint Anger
is Bob Rock.
By the way, I love Saint Anger.
Yeah, I do too.
So now,
what's the worst song on this album?
No. I want to get something. We're going to end with the worst song.
Okay.
Now the bassist for Metallica is who?
Robert Trujillo.
We have both met Robert Trujillo.
That's right. Ruben and I met Robert Trujillo when he played for Suicidal Tendencies. We saw Suicidal Tendencies on their Art of Rebellion tour when they opened for Megadeth on their Symphony of Destruction tour. And we followed the tour bus. We didn't know if it was a Megadeth tour bus or if it was a Suicidal tour bus. It was a Suicidal tour bus. They got out. We got out of our car. And we got them to sign our tickets and t-shirts.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And Trujillo was really cool. And yeah, we met him.
Yeah. So we've met a member of Metallica, the only one we've met.
Yeah, it's the only one we've met, but we met him.
And the worst song.
The worst song on the Black Album. And by the way, this album in the States alone has sold 16.5 million copies.
Jeez. Drum roll, please.
Ruben.
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman.
Worst song. Now, does anybody disagree?
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be... Okay, my worst Metallica fan are the ones who are going to the show tonight, Ruben, who are looking forward to Enter Sandman. Enter Sandman! Enter Sandman! Here we come, man! Now, Enter Sandman's not my worst choice, but it's a song that... I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
Out of all of the songs on the album, of all the worst, of all the Metallica songs, in my opinion, Enter Sandman's the worst.
Yeah, it's in my... Put it this way. Enter Sandman's in my top 5 of songs I'll never have to listen to again by Metallica.
All right, why don't we pause right here and then come back?
No, we got to finish it. We can do it. So my worst...
No. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead. What?
So my worst pick for the Black Album, other than Sad But True, because I already used it, is the last track on the album, The Struggle Within.
I like it.
All right.
I disagree.
All right.
No, let's do a little part 2 of after we do the show.
Yeah, well, this is... Yeah, we're pausing. This is...
You won't hear the pause.
Yeah.
But the next second you hear will be us talking after the show about the show.
So The Struggle Within. Suits you fine. Struggle Within. Anyways, I don't like that song. I can go without it.
You got poor taste, what can I say?
Yeah, well, I'm sure... You know what? Every episode we've done, Ruben, I've gotten feedback from family or friends who hear it, and they often disagree with our choices. That's why we...
dare they?
So anyways...
Friends? All right.
All right. So remember, we're going to come back, though, so I won't say our outro, but we'll be back to let you know how the concert went, and we'll tell you what our worst song from the concert was.
Oh, good call.
All right, welcome to the epilogue of the Worst of the Best podcast special Metallica episode. Ruben couldn't be here for the epilogue because he has to be at work. So it will just be me, but I have a special guest host with us, or guest I could say. I'm not going to give him any hosting duties because he's stressed out. But this is my nephew, Ethan.
Hello.
And Ethan attended Metallica with me and his uncle Ruben for the first time. It was his first Metallica concert ever. Ethan, was it a good show?
Yes, very good show.
Okay, so you're an avid concert goer. Does it rank up there as one of the best concerts you ever been to?
It's up there. It's up there. I mean, there's a lot of good shows up there. I've been to quite a bit, so I mean, but it's up there. It was a good show.
All right, you heard it there, folks. The youth of today has spoken. Metallica is still rocking it, and I am now wearing my new Metallica shirt. And I wondered to myself, am I going to wear this shirt in 26 years? We'll see. So this is just a quick wrap up. This is us saying what is the worst part of the best concert of Metallica, and the worst part for I was going to say Uncle Ruben, your Uncle Ruben. The worst part for Ruben was it was Nothing Else Matters, not the song itself, but the worst part of the concert for him was when that song was performed. The audience member behind them, bless their heart, was singing every lyric of the song, but singing it terribly, so it kind of ruined it for Ruben. Though, obviously a great song, but that was the worst moment for him for the show. Ethan, do you have your worst moment of the show?
Well, I mean, for me, it'd probably be Enter Sandman, because it's just one of those songs where it's like, we've all heard it a million times, so it's like, hear it again, I don't know, it just feels kind of... It's a little dragged out.
Yeah, Ethan and I were standing next to each other when Enter Sandman came on. It was the finale song, but we were like dancing to it and singing along with it, like it was like a pop song almost.
Yeah.
You know, the song, 2 songs previous to Enter Sandman, they played "Fight Fire with Fire," and then 2 songs later they're playing Enter Sandman. So it's just kind of like you get that contrast of how kind of poppy Enter Sandman is. But
yeah,
they played it well, but it's just not my favorite song either.
Yeah.
The worst part of the concert for me, You know, I have to go back with Sad But True. I purposely used that song for my pee break. And yeah, so I'm sticking with that. Anyways, we want to thank everyone for joining myself, Ruben, and my nephew Ethan for this special episode, road trip episode of the Worst of the Best Metallica special. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next tour.